God of grace, we open our hearts, minds, and soul to worship you. We humbly ask your forgiveness for our sins. We are gathered here today for our activity. Send us your Holy Spirit to be our guide, and guide us the wisdom to understand every topic that we are going to discuss. Enlighten our minds and let your love be upon us. Bless our parents who work hard to support us, and bless our teachers who are doing their best to inspire and to guide us. We thank you, Father, for this precious time that you have given us. All this we pray through Lord Jesus Christ, your Son, who lives and reigns with you in the unity of the Holy Spirit, one God forever. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang mag-ibig, etos ang sinakanan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyag ka ng mag-ibig, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisingil, sa gagatang tutok sa simoy at sa langit mong pangaw, ay hinatang tulad, awit sa pagkayang minamahal, ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nag-iibig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidinig, lumalang araw ng walhaging pagsinta, buhay ng isang pilit mo, aming ligaya ng pagkay mga api, at mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
During the previous celebration of our grand culminating activity, we have been acquainted to the common setup where we would observe and look at the different exhibits from the past grade 12 students of Palawan National School. However, due to some constraints, a lot of things have changed. But despite of these challenges, we still managed to find ways in order to celebrate our program. Welcome to our very first grand virtual culminating activity. My name is Joanna Angela De Rupe.
And I am Leona May Bacama from Rooms 12 Block 5, and we are pleased to be your host for this morning event.
Before we start the program, may we call on Mrs. Vilma R. Cabansag.
Sa ating pinagpipitaganang Principal 4 ng Pambansang Paaralan ng Palawan, Dr. Eduardo G. Santos, sa ating Assistant Principal 2 ng Senior High School, Sir Joseph R. Pinos, mga gurong namamahala ng Culminating Activity 2021, mga leader at mga estudyante ng Grade 12 HUMSS Department, at sa lahat ng mga nakasaksi sa araw na ito, isang mapagpalang araw po sa ating lahat. Tunay na nakalulugod ang magkaroon ng ganitong klase ng gawain dahil maliban sa ito'y kailangan sa pagtatapos sa Grade 12 ay naipakikita pa nila ang kanilang mga iba't ibang natutunan sa paggabay ng kanilang mga guro sa culminating activity na ito. Kaya, kayo po ay aming inaanyayahang manood at saksihan ang kanilang mga talento na kanilang ginawa. Muli po, isang mapagparang araw sa ating lahat.
Dr. Eduardo G. Santos, the subject group heads, master teachers, beloved students and parents, a pleasant morning to all of you. I am thankful and honored to be invited in this year's culminating activity of the Humanities and Social Sciences Group. Thank you, Ma'am Vilma R. Cabansag and HUMSS family for inviting me here. And most of all, I would like to thank our Almighty Father for giving us the opportunity to showcase the product of different learning areas of HUMSS through culminating activity. The ongoing COVID-19 pandemic has caused massive disruption in the education sector. In the context of basic education, crisis is a condition in which regular operation of schools, including relevant offices in the division, region, and central levels, is suspended, and its learners' physically attendance in school is prohibited or limited. Work immersion aims to provide senior high school learners with opportunities to familiarize themselves with the workplace, to simulate employment and to apply their competencies in areas of specialization subjects in authenticate work immersion environments. However, its implementation must be flexible enough to fit the complex setup and needs of the learners, schools, and partners institutions in the country. In the senior high school, the implementation of work immersion, which is a required subject for the technical, vocational, and livelihood track, is assumed to be severely affected in this scenario. However, learning should not stop even during crisis situations. While limitations for learners and schools are recognized, the department should take a proactive stance in anticipating and planning for various services delivery conditions. With this, the Department of Education issued a Memorandum DMCI 2020-0085 as guidelines for work immersion implementation during crisis situation. And that was dated June 2, 2020 to fit with the current situation. These guidelines will only take effect within the school year 2020-2021 for all senior high schools unless sooner repealed, amended, or rescinded based on the continuing changes in the national situation. Through this, the Humanities and Social Sciences strand and General Academic strand adopted the culminating activity. This subject is designed to provide students the opportunity to integrate their learnings in the different learning areas of the Humanities and Social Sciences through a creative culminating activity. It focuses on the exhibitions or exhibits of authentic products and performances as evidence of their learning in the Humanities and Social Sciences. In consideration of the current limitations, the following may be undertaken by the schools. Number 1, teachers must program the activities of learners where they can perform the learning competencies within the confines of their home. Since the subject's performance standards is to produce a creative portfolio that will integrate their learning in specialized learning areas under Humanities and Social Sciences, learners can be asked to: letter A, create a plan to make their portfolio including its timeline, process involved, and key concepts. Write a concept paper that will encapsulate their learning in Humanities and Social Sciences. Write insights after each part of portfolio has been completed. Compile all outputs to include in their portfolio and write an overall reflection and learning based on the evaluation of their teachers, which will be given based on the condition of the locality. Summing up the learners' work immersion standards of undertakings, we can now assure that our learners will gain enough knowledge, insights, and experiences for them to be ready and equipped in pursuing their college education, obtain skills in their field, be a potential entrepreneur, and ready to enter the world of work. That's all. Thank you very much. And
In this event, we will witness the different practicums and talents from different blocks as they integrate their learnings to their future profession. Let us all begin with our first presenter from HUMSS 12 Block 8.
Hi kids! It's me, Kuya Jam. How are you? Well, I hope that you're okay and doing a good job on your individual modules. Because today, we are all going to learn together with our guest speakers from Humanities and Social Sciences Block 8. We have Ate Jaja, Kuya Neil, and Ate Nix. But before we start, just sit back, relax, and welcome to The Young Tape. Imagine Mr. Vincent van Gogh, the famous artist behind The Starry Night. Mr. Van Gogh is holding his paintbrush on his right hand and the palette on the left. Then, he mixes the paint to create different colors. Make some strokes on the canvas with yellow, blue, black, and many more colors. And then, tada! The Starry Night is in the Louvre Museum. What Mr. Van Gogh does is creating a scene using his imagination, then putting it into paper using his paint and paintbrush. But what if you want to paint a scene too, but don't know how to use the paintbrush and mix some colors? Well, creative writing is here to help you be an artist, just like Van Gogh, but only with a single pen. Our topic for today is all about creative writing. Are you guys ready? Then if yes, let's call Ate Jaja to discuss the definition of creative writing.
Creative writing, the word itself, is a form of writing that involves the writer's creative way of expressing things, especially with the use of his imagination. Follow the theory as the eagle, but unlike painters like Mr. Van Gogh, who draws the story, you are writing it with words. Pretty easy, right? Creative writing is considered as an artistic way of expression as it aims to convey meaning through the use of descriptive imagery. Here we can write either a fiction, which is just a fantasy or an unreal story, non-fiction, which is based on true and factual information. We also have poems, short stories, and a novel. The last two contains the elements of character, setting, conflict, and plot. Now, it's time to answer the question of what are the other characteristics of creative writing. Let us all welcome Kuya Neil.
Creative writing is for everyone. For kids like you, your older sibling, your mom, your dad, and even your lolas and lolas. Everyone is allowed to write and read creative writing. So, make sure that if you want to produce a creative literary work, you need to use words that can be easily understood by everyone. Words that are commonly used in an everyday conversation. That way, your reader can easily understand no matter his age is. Second, it uses the writer's creative juices. Meaning, what you will write is based on your ability to make stories or images based on your imagination. This is highlighted when you are writing a creative fiction, where you are very free to explore and create new worlds like in Harry Potter. With wands and magic, yours can be with fairies and angels. That is fantastic! And your imagination can be limitless, beyond extraordinary. Third, it uses figurative language. Do you know what a figurative language is? Well, it's almost the same as descriptive imagery because it is another tool to effectively describe the elements of your story. Here, we have different figure of speech, like simile, which is simple as your heart is like a cotton. Oxymoron, which is an organized mess, and many more. Almost a billion like a hyperbole. Also, a creative piece often contains elements that symbolizes an idea or a concept. For example, a diamond ring for wealth, a bouquet of roses for my undying love, or rainstorm for sadness. The remaining characteristics will be discussed by Ate Nix. Ate Nix?
Fourth, a creative literature aims to entertain and to captivate. Of course! Who wouldn't enjoy reading a story where you can see magic and fairies, right? For non-fiction, if you write creatively, your readers will not feel bored by reading because you can give them a very nice description of, let's say, how your home looked like 10 years ago or how delicious your mom cooked when you were still living with her. It's like you are telling them to read more. Read more! If tone is subjective, meaning what you write is influenced with your feelings more than anything else, especially because creative writing is for self-expression. Example, you were asked to write about the meaning of love. You can say that love is a white little puppy. Lastly, Creative writing always tells a story, no matter what type of writing you are making, whether a poem, novel, or a short story. It involves the context of telling a story to readers, and it involves experience, moment, and emotion. Here are some examples of poetry and flash fiction made from HUMSS Black 8.
Rainbow After the Rain, a poem written by Jamil J. Garados. The world has stopped. The streets were lonely. Every doors got locked. Our hope went empty. Then nature revived, brought back its beauty. Heroes arise to heal humanity. Although this year has brought us so much pain, faces are half, distance must be maintained. We shouldn't be scared. Faith must be obtained, because there's always a rainbow after the rain.
You don't understand the Janet Flores. It was my 13th birthday. No one was present, as well as my parents. When I took a glance on my glass window, I saw myself hanging from the ceiling. In a nutshell, creative writing is for everyone. People use this to freely express themselves in a manner that is uniquely their own. Through creative writing, we are able to tell a story, share an experience, or even point out a picture through the use of our pride. Compared to other writings, creative writing gives us the freedom to write just anything about that can come into our minds. Thus, people use this as a means of escape and connecting to people.
Now, who wants to be a writer? Do you want to be a published author of books? May it be a book of fiction, poetry, short stories, or even biographies? Or maybe a writer of National Geographic? Or a journalist who writes documentaries? No matter what writing career it is that you want to pursue, creative writing subject will help you to plant the seeds of creativity in literature, and it is up for you to make it grow and flourish. So what are you waiting for? Grab your pens, your paper, your creative minds and wild imaginations, and let us be Van Gogh without a paintbrush. That is all for today, kids. Thank you for listening and being with us all throughout the discussion. I hope you learned a lot from our discussion today. Thank you also to our guest speakers from Humanities and Social Sciences Block 8, Ate Jaja, Kuya Neil, and Ate Nix. Please wash your hands regularly, guys. Eat healthy foods and always obey the safety protocols. Once again, I am Kuya Jam. See you next week, only here on The Octave. Stay safe. Bye.
I've got this feeling inside my bones. I want to write, I want to share, release my soul. Express my feelings, show you my thoughts. By using creative imagination, I got books, novels, and short stories, flash fictions in different ways. We can build the world we wanted with our own ways. Sit back, think, and use your mind. Let your emotions decide. Even when the world is falling, you don't stop. Amidst the dim and darkest of times, we can escape, we can find the true light. Freezing cold and let your heart beat a fire. Let's imagine, let's imagine, let's imagine. Step out of reality. Explore the possibility. Let's go right. Put no thoughts in imagery. Let us run creatively. Let's go right. Yeah, let's imagine.
that wonderful presentation. Let's head on to our next presenter from HUMSS 12 Block 4.
Good day there, fellow humanistas. Have you been wondering why creative nonfiction is one of our major subjects in humanities and social sciences strand? Well, ask no more, because in this video presentation, we will discuss and analyze how essential creative nonfiction is for us. Now, what is creative nonfiction? Creative nonfiction is a genre that answers to many different names depending on how it is made. A memory or fact-based writing that makes use of the styles and elements of fiction, poetry, memoir, and essay. These are the types of creative nonfiction which vary depending on the topic: memoir, autobiography, personal essay, lyric essay, literary journalism, narration, observation, rating, and insight. So, what is the significance of creative nonfiction? The significance of creative nonfiction is that it allows us to see and understand the real-life situations and events that happen in our lives. It teaches us about life and reality, and it is an eye-opener for the youth. Creative nonfiction is where the writer writes about themselves and others, capturing real people and real life as it only provides you fact.
Now that you know what is creative nonfiction, let us now move on to the next part of our learning. We are going to talk about integrating learned concepts from humanities and social sciences subjects to future professions, and connecting the learned concepts, practices, and theories from the 8 subjects of humanities and social sciences to the students' future professions.
How is this related?
Well, creative nonfiction writing can embody both personal and public history. It is a form that utilizes memory, experience, observation, opinion, and all kinds of research. Sometimes the form can do all of the above at the same time. The purpose is to inform, to explain, to persuade, and to, of course, entertain and have students express their understanding of what they mean.
How does these subjects of humanities and social sciences help us cultivate, shape, or prepare us from the profession that we want to take in the future?
Nice question. Humanities and social sciences expands our knowledge of human cultures and help us understand what binds us together and what differentiates us from one another. In addition to these high-level insights, however, they also provide practical applications that can enhance your professional skill sets and give you a competitive edge.
Wow! This was really beneficial to the students. But now, do you have any idea about the elements of creative nonfiction? If you don't have any idea, let me share this to you. Creative writing often incorporates several elements on nonfiction when writing a memoir, personal essay, travel writing, and so on. Now, let me ask you this. How many elements do you think were incorporated by nonfiction?
Well, usually, the writers often incorporate several elements when they're writing a nonfiction piece. These are the most common elements of nonfiction: fact, extensive research, reportage or reporting, personal experience and personal opinion, explanation or exposition, and lastly, essay format.
Literary elements of creative nonfiction. Since creative nonfiction is the literature of fact, yet the creative nonfiction writers utilizes many of the literary devices of fiction writing. 1. Character. 2. Conflict. 3. Plot. 4. Dialogue. 5. Theme. 6. Pacing. 7. Wordplay. 8. Patterns. 9. Rhyme. 10. Beginnings and endings.
This is a personal essay made by us using the elements from creative nonfiction. It is entitled The Death of a Year. It contains different features and elements such as reading in first person point of view. It is deeply personal and it is based on the writer's personal thoughts and experiences to universal truths. It engages the readers by establishing a context and developing reader interest. The writer's piece tackles real people, events, and places, things that happened or are happening. The writer used figurative language, which are personification, hyperbole, simile, and onomatopoeia to give readers more details and amplify its writing.
The essay is about the writer's personal experience during the pandemic and the impact of COVID-19 in people's way of living. The writer made us feel how the drastic change in our educational system affected every learner. It is indeed full of sorrow and full of unexpected details. The writer has shown her personal thoughts, feelings, and overall experience during the pandemic. It has shown a sense of close familiarity, which makes the essay relatable to readers alike.
Hey! Now that you have learned some of the important parts about creative nonfiction, let's talk about its purpose and why does it become one of HUMSS' major subjects. As you know, creative nonfiction writers write about themselves and others, capturing real people in real life in a ways that can and have changed the world. One of the most important and amusing about creative nonfiction is that it not only allows but also encourages the writer to become a part of the story or essay being written. Nonfiction unfolds the reality of life. It enlightens one with a specific idea of subjectivity. The importance of precise language and self-advocacy translates well into both interpersonal relationships and working environments. Now, let's get out of the imaginative world for a while, and we will realize how creative nonfiction is written deep within the heart.
Creative writing and creative nonfiction truly has a huge significance not just in one but also in many areas of our life, most especially in writing stories. Speaking of stories, let us all witness the performance of Black 12, which is all about storytelling.
The cashew tree is a tropical evergreen tree that produces the cashew seed and the cashew apples yield the fruit. However, unlike other fruits, the seed of cashew is attached to the external part of its body. Are you familiar with the cashew seed? There's a local myth depicting the reason behind the cashew's unique appearance. Hear the story from us, and you shall know why. Humanities and Social Sciences 12 Block 2 presenting The Legend of the Cashew Nut.
Cashew nut is like a bell, yellow and ripe and sweet. Unlike other fruits, the seed of the cashew nut is outside the fruit. The seed is delicious and nutritious, although according to some people beliefs, roasted cashew seeds are dangerous to chickens. Here is the legend of the cashew nut. It tells particularly why the seed is outside the fruit. Once there was a merrymaking in the forest. All the animals gathered in the forest, including birds and insects. All were happy. Everyone big and small joined the merrymaking. Nearby was a cashew nut. What is the cause of all the noise outside? Asked the seed inside the cashew nut. Oh, if I could only release myself from this dark chamber. The noise continued. The merrymaking continued too, and the seed inside the cashew nut continued to pray for its release from inside. At that very moment, a fairy was making her way to the forest. She was attracted by the noise and decided to join the fun. She paused for a while and heard a grieving voice. Who must that creature be? Thought the fairy. Oh, powerful fairy, let me out, please! Begged the seed inside the cashew nut. The fairy heard the begging voice of the seed. She took pity on the seed. With her tender fingers, the fairy gently touched the cashew nut. And lo, the seed was out in an instant. The world is much a beautiful place, exclaimed the seed. Oh, beautiful fairy, I want to live in this wonderful world outside. Never return me to the life of of darkness I used to have. I plead. Your wish is granted, promised the fairy. How happy the seed was. She feasted her eyes all around her, but after a few hours, the merrymaking stopped and great silence prevailed. The animals retired. The birds and the insects rested. In short, while the cloudy sky was turned in darkness, the wind blew hard and rain fell heavily. Deafening thunder was accompanied by bold lightning. The seed grew afraid of what she saw and heard. Shivering the wet and cold darkness, she called the fairy. "Oh, merciful fairy," the seed begged. "Hear me. Put me back in my chamber. I don't like to stay here outside anymore. It's so dreadful outside," she cried. Her pitiful calls received no response, for the fairy was nowhere in sight. She had vanished. Just then, the storm ceased. The fairy appeared once more and saw the poor seed bent and no longer able to talk. Then the fairy spoke. "I will not return you to your chamber. I want to teach you a lesson. Be contented with what you have. Appreciate whatever God has given you." After saying these words, the fairy left her good. From that time on, the seed remained outside the cashew nut.
What an amazing performance from Black 2. Right, Leona?
Yes, Joanna. To everyone who is currently watching, once again, my name is Leona Mibakama and I am here to introduce to you the 3 remaining blocks who will be performing for this morning event. To proceed, let us view the presentation of Unit 12, Block 12.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. We are from the Humanities and Social Sciences Grade 12 Block 12 and we are here to present to you the 8 disciplines of social sciences. We will present to you the 8 disciplines of social sciences through a video lesson wherein the definition and the founder are discussed. The branches of social sciences are the different disciplines under the social sciences, all help in providing a better understanding and appreciation of the complex issues that faces society. These disciplines are anthropology, economics, geography, history, linguistics, political science, psychology, and sociology. For better understanding, let's start with anthropology. It is the scientific study of humans, human behavior, the past and present various elements of humans, including biology and culture, in order to understand human origin and the evolution of various beliefs and social customs. Anthropology is from the New Latin word anthropologia, or the study of humanity, and shares its ultimate root in Greek, anthropos, or human being. Franz Uri Boas was a German-born American anthropologist and the pioneer of modern anthropology, who has been called the father of American anthropology.
Next up, economics.
Economics looks at the production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services. Economic thought valued through feudalism in the Middle Ages to mercantilist theory in the Renaissance when people were concerned to ancient trade policy to further national interests. There are 3 laws of economics. The first one is self-interest. People will work for their own good. The second one is competition. Competition forces people better the product. And the last one is supply and demand. Enough goods will be produced at the lowest price to meet the needs of the people. Adam Smith is the father of economics. He was the founder of classical school and most famous for his book, The Wealth of Nations.
Geography. Geography is the study of place and relationships between people and their environment. There are 2 types of geography. First one is physical geography, the study of Earth's season, climate, atmosphere, soil, streams, landforms, and oceans. Second one is human geography, the study of the distribution of networks of people and cultures on Earth's surface. Eratosthenes is the father of geography, also known as the ancient Greek scholar.
History.
History is the study of past. It is by nature an extremely broad discipline that includes an analysis of individuals and groups, events and phenomena, long-term and short-term trends, institutions, societies, and cultures. Herodotus is undoubtedly the father of history. He was born in Halicarnassus in the 5th century BC. He wrote the Histories. In these texts are found his inquiries, which later became to modern scholars to mean facts of history.
Linguistics.
Linguistics is the scientific study of language. In the late 19th century, it was known as the history of historical epics. Abram Noam Chomsky is an American linguist, philosopher, cognitive scientist, historian, social critic, and political activist, sometimes called the father of modern linguistics.
Political science.
Political science is the scientific study of politics. It is a social science dealing with systems of governance and power, and the analysis of political activities, political thoughts, political behavior, and associated with constitutions and laws. Aristotle is called the father of political science because he elaborated the topics and thinking of ideal state, slavery, revolution, education, citizenship, forms of government, the theory of golden mean, theory of constitution, and etc. He said these topics are essential for a man to know his surroundings and environment.
Psychology.
Psychology is the scientific study of mind and behavior of a person. Psychology is integrated to learn more about mental process, brain activities, and behavior. William Wundt is often regarded as the father of psychology. Wundt was important because he separated psychology from philosophy by analyzing the workings of the mind in a more structured way, with the emphasis being on objective measurement and control. And lastly, sociology.
Sociology is the systematic study of society and social interaction. In order to carry out their studies, sociologists identify cultural patterns and social forces and determine how they affect individuals and groups. They also develop ways to apply their findings to the real world. The father of sociology is the French philosopher Auguste Comte. He was the first one to use the term sociology in 1838 to refer to the scientific study of society.
This is our insight for the subject, Disciplines and Ideas in Social Sciences.
Henry Charles Carey once said that the molecule of society is the subject of social science. I do believe in Mr. Carey because, as a humanities and social sciences student, it is accurate that everything in society is the subject of social science. I learned that social science has 8 disciplines: the anthropology, history, linguistics, geography, economics, politics, psychology, and sociology. It is vital because it helps people to understand and engage with the key political and social institutions, thus benefiting individuals and society as a whole. The 8 disciplines of social science are important because it creates better institutions and systems that affect people's lives every day. Thus, social science helps people to interact with the social world, how to influence policy, develop networks, increase government accountability, and promote democracy. Learning those disciplines indeed correlates to our path that we will encounter as we welcome another chapter in our life.
Before we end our presentation, we prepared a song for you, performed by Miss Kizaya Segovia, the Vice President of HUMSS 12 Block 12.
For you, I guess now you are doing really great. Do you know that social science has 8 disciplines? Anthropology, geography, economics,
That is all for our presentation today. I hope you enjoyed watching. Again, we are the HUMSS 12 Black 12 saying, God bless and keep safe everyone. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, Block 12. Now, let us head on to Block 7 for the DS Practicum.
Many people felt lost when the first case of COVID-19 has manifested in the Philippines. And not long after, others are already grieving over a death of the loved one. As we continue to be on constant lockdown, panic and fear arose in everyone's heart due to the unseen enemy that constantly creeping behind us. But despite all of that, we still continue to stand together to tackle the greatest public health challenge of our generation. Everyone decided to join hands in combating the COVID-19, where every profession matters.
I am Althea Daphne D. Mendoza, a journalist.
Hi, I am Counselor Aliyah Ordonez and thank you so much for having me here.
Hello everyone, I am Ayami Ivcasas, a social worker, and I am so glad that you invited me to be here.
I am a journalist. I am someone who is trained to investigate, collect, and present information to the public. Those informations can be seen or can be presented in different kinds of mediums like in tabloids, in newspapers, in magazines, in radio, in television, and even on the internet and social media. So we're basically everywhere.
As a counselor, we provide professional guidance, help, and support to any individuals who are shattered by their problems in life.
We help individuals, groups, and communities. Helping people help ourselves. We address different kinds of personal and social problems.
In uncertain times like this, we actually have a very big responsibility since we are the watchdogs. We disseminate information to the public as fast and as accurate as possible. Since there's a lot of fake news circling around, especially in social media, we make sure that our articles, our news that we publish are accurate and factual. And after all, we are the amplifiers of information and the upholders of truth.
The demand for counselor is now increasing, especially now that we are facing due to the uncertainty that tomorrow may bring. As a counselor, we hope to give our clients psychological ease and comfort to counter their stress that may endanger their well-being.
Nowadays, social workers play a vital role in the society, especially with public health crises and national emergencies. We help to secure the welfare of every human being. Every day, social workers are on the front line of the pandemic response, connecting clients with a wide range of health and social programs and services to address the devastating impacts of COVID-19 pandemic.
Help and support our reporters and our journalists in achieving the goal of providing factual and accurate information to the public so that the public can make good and smart decisions. Always fact check your sources and beware of the fake ones. And don't just post anything out of the blue, especially if it's a matter of public concern, since you might be the one spreading the misinformation.
As what Eleanor Roosevelt said, that you gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in your face. And you are able to say to yourself, I lived through this horror, I can take the next thing that comes along. That's why we shouldn't let ourselves wallow in fear. Instead, we should focus on the things that we can do in combating COVID-19.
Peace is in the hands of the citizens, so be a good follower and be a responsible one.
Our society indeed faces different circumstances and problems that are needed to be addressed. That's why the different disciplines of applied social sciences come together in addressing societal issues. Journalists, counselors, social workers. The contribution of these professions can never be measured using any measuring tool, because it can only be felt and seen through the impact it made on an individual, community, and to the entire society. Frontliners for the mental state and service of the Filipino.
Thank you, Block 7. On this morning last performance, let us be taken on a virtual tour of the Palawan heritage. Let us have the presentation of HUMSS 12 Block 6.
This virtual tour is brought to you by Humanities and Social Sciences Block 6.
Welcome mga kabiyahero! Ang trip natin today,
Palawan.
kilala bilang one of the best islands in the world, Palawan has a lot more to offer other than spectacular beaches, rivers, mangroves, and rich biodiversity.
All the way from cultures, traditions, practices, and tribes up to festivals, tourist spots, delicacies, and pasalubongs. Meron kami niyan.
COVID-19? No problem! Sagot namin kayo. I am Kate kasama sina
Rhea Florgo
at Dave Escala. Come with us
at sabay-sabay tayong mamangha sa likang yaman ng Palawan. This is Pamana, Lakbay Palawan Virtual Tour. The last frontier kung tawagin ng isla ng Palawan dahil sa natatanging nitong kabundukan, karagatan at kamanghamanghang likas yaman. But there's more!
With a total land area of 1,789,655 hectares, this province consists of 23 municipalities and 433 barangays.
Ito ay makikita sa southwest part of the Philippine island chain at binubuo ng humigit kumulang 1,780 islands and islets.
There are several versions of the origin of the name. Mayroong nagmula sa isang Chinese word Palayu, meaning land of beautiful harbors. Mayroon ring Indian word Palaus, meaning territory. At mayroon pang Spanish word na Paragua dahil sa hugis nitong maihahalin tulad sa isang nakasarang payo.
Kalaunan, ito ay tinawag ng Palawan.
Dahil mayaman rin sa kasaysayan ang Palawan, bumalik naman tayo sa nakaraan.
Ang Palawan ay nagsilbing kuta at battlefield noong panahon ng digmaan, marahil dahil na rin sa lokasyon nito.
Sa katunayan, sa panahon ng mga Espanyol taong 1667 ay naitayo ang Fort Santa Isabel o kilala rin bilang Fuerza de Santa Isabel sa bayan ng Taytay na nagsilbing military station at depensa laban sa mga Muslim warriors.
Taong 1680, naitatag naman ang Fort of Cuyo at St. Augustine Church sa bayan ng Cuyo na parehong nagsilbi namang proteksyon laban sa mga pag-atake ng mga Moro. It also serves as a famous place for adoration and recollection ng mga Kristiyano.
Puntahan naman natin ngayon ang Plaza Cuartel sa lungsod ng Puerto Princesa.
Taong 1880, ang buok na ito ang tanggulang militar noong World War II. Dito rin naganap ang pagsunog ng mga sundalong Hapon sa humigit kumulang 150 Amerikanong bihag noong ika-14 ng Disyembre taong 1994.
Ilan lamang yan sa napakaraming historical places sa probinsya ng Palawan. Tunay ngang kung makapagsasalita lamang ang mga lugar na ito, ay malamang marami pa itong maikukwento sa atin.
Ngayon naman, dumako na tayo sa mga kultura at tradisyon ng Palawan.
Ang Palawan ay tahanan rin ng iba't ibang indigenous groups katulad ng Tagbanwa, Palauan, Taot Bato, Molbog, Batak, Agutaynen at Cuyunon. Ang mga ito ay karaniwang naninirahan sa mga remote villages sa iba't ibang lokasyon, partikular na sa mga bundok at coastal areas.
Isa sa mga duyan ng sinaunang tao at sibilisasyon sa Pilipinas, welcome to Tabon Caves o mga kuweba ng Tabon na matatagpuan sa Lipuon Point sa bayan ng Quezon.
Nagmula ang pangalan Tabon sa Tabon bird o isang Philippine megapode.
Sa pananaliksik na ginawa ni Dr. Robert Fox, natagpuan dito ang mga fossils ng mga sinaunang tao na tinatayang namuhay mula pa noong 49,000 BC at tinatawag silang mga taong Tabon. Nakita rin dito ang mga buto ng elepante, pating at isda.
Maging ang kultura ng paglilibing ng mga labi sa mga banga na tulad ng manunggol jar ay nakita rin. Sa ibabaw nito ay mayroong nakasakay na 2 tao. Ang isa ay taga-saguan na sinasabing tagapaghatid ng kaluluwa ng pumanaw at ang nasa likod nito ay ang kaluluwa na ihatid sa kabilang buhay.
Ayon kay Antonio Pigafetta, noon pa man ay gumagamit na ang mga tubo ng mga armas tulad ng blowpipes, spears at bronze lombard.
Nadiskubre niya rin ang kultura ng pagsasabong at tagisan ng kamao.
Ang mga katutubo ay mayroon rin kinikilalang sariling sistema ng pagsulat mula pa noon. Magpapatunay dito ang mga kauna-unahang sulat kamay ng mga Tagbanwa.
Pamoso rin ang paniniwala ng tribong Batak sa pagkikipag-usap sa mga espiritu ng kalikasan sa pamamagitan ng mga babaylan o mga shaman. Pati na rin ang rice wine ritual ng mga Tagbanwa na tinatawag namang pagdiwata o inim.
Pagdating sa musika at sining ng pagsasayaw, bumibida rin ang Palawan. Patunay rito ang mga instrumentong kanilang ginagamit tulad ng kosyapi, babarak at basal. Ilan sa mga musika rito ay ang bagit, kulyal at tultul.
Samantala, sa mga katutubong sayaw naman ay mayroong solteros, pondo-pondo at karatong.
Ilan lamang yan sa mga hindi mabilang na pamana ng sinauna pagdating sa kultura at mga tradisyon.
Nagutom ka ba? Tara, food trip muna tayo.
Bilang cashew capital of the Philippines, pangunahing produkto at best pasalubong ng Palawan ang kasoy.
Dahil dito, nagbunga ang kasoy ng iba't ibang uri tulad ng salted, fried, roasted, brittle, caramelized at mayroon na rin chocolate-coated ngayon.
Maliban rito, samot-saring produkto na rin ang naimbento tulad ng pante at buti-buti na mula pa sa bayan ng Kuyo.
Ang bandi ay gawa sa buto ng kasoy na hinaluan ng asukal, kaya ito ay may matigas na texture, ngunit napakatamis na lasa.
Samantala, ang buti-buti naman o ampaw ng Puyo Palawan na sweet puff rice kung tawagin sa Ingles ay gawa sa rice grain na may reddish or brown na kulay at may napakatamis ring lasa gaya ng bandi.
Next on the menu, ang pamosong tamilok.
Uod kung tawagin ng iba. Ito ay makikita sa loob ng mga puno ng bakawan o mangroves, kaya naman tinatawag itong woodworm sa Ingles, bagamat hindi talaga ito uod.
Maaari itong lutuin sa iba't ibang paraan o di kaya ay gawing kinilaw na pwede ring isawsaw sa suka.
At syempre, hindi papahuli ang crocodile sisig na maaaring matikman sa Kinabuch Grill and Bar at Crocodile Farm. Dahil nga exotic, may kamahalan ng presyo nito gaya ng tamilok, ngunit tiyak na sulit pa rin.
Hindi ka pwedeng umalis ng Palawan nang walang dalang kopya mula sa nag-iisang Baker's Hill na available in different flavors gaya ng ube, mango at pork.
O diba? Perfect!
Ilan lamang yan sa daang-daang mga pagkain na matitikman sa probinsya ng Palawan.
Nabusog ka ba? Tara, lakbay naman tayo!
As we all know, Palawan is a home for hundreds of islands, rich history, and majestic biodiversity.
Sa dami nga ng pwedeng puntahan, hindi na natin alam kung ano ang uunahin. So everyone, hop in and let's go on a ride to major tourist spots in Palawan. Our first destination, saan pa ba? Hindi sa Underground River!
Kilala rin ito sa tawag na Puerto Princesa Subterranean River National Park at hinirang bilang isa sa 7 Wonders of Nature.
Makikita sa kuwebang ito ang kamangha-manghang limestone karst landscape, natural beauty, intact old growth forest, distinctive wildlife at ang natatangi nitong rock formations.
Now, we are heading to our next destination, the most visited place in Palawan, El Nido!
Here we can see the white seashores, magagandang limestone, kaakit-akit na tidal ponds at mayamang coral nursery. Marami ang adventure na pwedeng gawin dito gaya na lamang ng panonood ng sunrise and sunset, mag-snorkeling, kayaking at marami pang iba. Ito rin ay pinaliligiran ng iba't ibang beaches at islands gaya ng Secret Beach, Helicopter Island, Nakpan Beach, Las Cabanas Beach, ang famous small and big lagoons at ang archaeological site na Eel Cave.
Ngayon, punta naman tayo sa Coron.
Makikita dito ang magandang tanawin, clear freshwater lakes at shallow water coral reefs. Makikita natin dito ang mga nagagandahang lugar gaya na lamang ng Kayangan Lake at Twin Lagoon.
Samantala, sa bayan ng Busuanga, masisilayan naman ang well-known Kalawit Safari Park, isang sanctuary ng mga wildlife animals na tahanan ng iba't ibang species ng exotic African at endemic Palawan flora and fauna.
Tara, sabay-sabay naman nating sisirin ang Tubataha Reef Natural Park. Ito ay isang marine protected area at kilala dahil sa pambihirang marine biodiversity nito, mayamang marine life at makapigil hiningang view under the ocean.
Iilan lamang yan sa mga pwedeng puntahan sa Palawan. Marami pang ibang atraksyon bibighani sa inyong mga mata gaya na lamang ng Long Beach, Estrella Falls, Iwahig River, Little Siargao at ang ibang nakatago ngunit malaparaisong destinasyon sa Palawan.
Ihanda na ang inyong mga katawan at sabay-sabay tayong umindak sa Samut-Saring Festival sa Palawan. Tara, unahin na natin ang Pamusong Baragatan Festival.
Ito ay pinagdiriwang sa buong buwan ng Hunyo bilang selebrasyon sa pagtatatag ng probinsya ng Palawan.
Ang salitang baragatan ay mula sa Korean word na bagat na ang ibig sabihin ay tipon-tipon. Kaya naman, dito na rin ipinapamalas ng iba't ibang mga munisipyo ang kanilang mga natatanging produkto kasabay ng pakikisalamuha sa iba pang mga bayan.
Ngayon, going wild naman tayo! Tara sa Subarao Biodiversity Festival.
Ginaganap tuwing ika-11 ng Nobyembre, ito ay kilala rin bilang PPUR Day bilang selebrasyon sa pagkakadeklara ng Underground River as one of the new 7 wonders.
Ang Subarao ay hango sa katutubong salita na suba o ilog at taraw o limestone cliff na siyang bumubuo sa underground river. Idagdag pa ang flora and fauna na nakapalibot dito.
Ngayon, hindi mo na kailangan pumunta pa ng Japan para tunghayan ang cherry blossom.
Welcome to Balayong Festival!
Ipinagdiriwang bilang pagsalubong sa kapiyasahan ng lungsod ng Puerto Princesa at pagsibol ng mga Palawan cherry blossoms o balayong kung saan hango ang pangalan nito.
Dahil kilala ang Palawenyo bilang mapagmahal sa kalikasan, marami ring mga pagdiriwang dito na may layuning mapanatili ang likas na ganda ng probinsya, tulad na lamang ng Pitay ang Kabuban at Love Affair with Nature.
Kaabang-abang sa mga selebrasyon na ito ang tagisan sa talento ng mga Palawenyo pagdating sa kantahan, sayawan, partikular na sa street dance, at pagiging malikhain sa paggawa ng mga float at costumes na iniraramba sa mga kalsada sa buong probinsya.
Punong-puno ng kasiyahan sa Palawan, kaya naman iilan lamang yan sa dami ng mga pagdiriwa na isnasagawa rito taon-taon.
Kaya naman, if you are planning to visit Palawan, maaari itong marating at malibot through airplanes at mga local boats, or even passenger ships at fast ferries.
Tunay ngang kamangha-mangha ang probinsya ng Palawan hindi lamang sa kayamanan ng kultura at kasaysayan nito, kundi pati na rin sa mga tradisyon at mga selebrasyong maaaring maranasan dito.
Magsilbing aral sana ito sa atin na ang tanging yaman ay dapat ng pinangangalagaan.
It is more fun in the Philippines talaga, lalong-lalo na sa Palawan.
Mula sa Humanities and Social Sciences Block 6, maraming salamat sa pagsama ninyo sa virtual tour na ito. Malayo man, ngunit malapit pa rin.
Hanggang sa susunod nating paglalakbay mga biyaheros.
This is Pamana, Lakbay Palawan Virtual Tour.
Ito ang panahon ating inihintay, tayong lahat ay magkaisa.
This afternoon, we have gathered knowledge from the different practicums and talents. Now, a new set of presentations will be coming from blocks 3, 9, 10, and 11 of Humanities and Social Sciences. Without any further, let us now proceed to the block 10 as they showcase their own presentation.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good day everyone, I am Evelyn May Araes from Lium's 12 Block 10, and today we will all witness the paintings that we've made to express our learnings and understandings correlated to trends, networks, and critical thinking in the 21st century subject.
As you can see in the painting, it's surrounded by the different trends that we have today, like social media platforms, technologies, trends, and networks. Every nations unite as they adapt the different trends coming from every country. When we first see in painting a statue or a work of art, we focus on the visual characteristic, its size, its composition, its color, and condition, before saying and understanding further into the meaning. Nevertheless, these visual signals are significant as any other interpretation or meaning of word because they lead us to grasp and the deeper meaning of terms. Innovation is presently a vital piece of everyday life for all of us. It represents that the modernization that we're witnessing today has all been because of the development of technology and different fields. Innovation is presently a vital piece of the everyday life for all of us. The figure beside them all convey the idea that the world is constantly evolving. Technology progresses and makes our lives even more convenient. It is even more significant for the monetary development of country. People work together for the people to give time to each other until all nations are united.
The slogan represents that the modernization that we're witnessing today has all been because of the fast development of the technology in different fields. Innovation is presently a vital piece of our everyday life. It helps us in a lot of ways, in communicating and sharing some ideas and getting some information. Technology has been long known to enable globalization. The member of globalization can communicate, get some information, share some information, and share some ideas in instant with the help of technology. However, as the effects of globalization have become more prominent, they have in turn helped to shape the very technologies that enable this process.
Good day everyone! So today, I'm about to present to you our artwork. This art represents the trends of modernity of this generation. It shows different media platforms and media technologies. The social media are in huge control of this generation. It could help us in our school, works, businesses, campaigns, but it's not just like that. We are trying to send a message through this art that these media technologies, we could be harmed. We could be harmed and we could harm others as well for being not responsible in using this. In addition, as you will see in our artwork, you will see the dark part of the art where it represents the pandemic we are experiencing nowadays.
Today, fellow humanistas, we are the fourth group in grade 12 Humes Black Pen. We painted a picture about the different structures of trends, networks, and critical thinking in the 21st century. This painting shows how human life has evolved over the centuries, from the way our ancestors walked on all fours, until we learned to stand and do amazing things. Our way of life went from striking rocks to make a fire, to making computers and machines that will do the work for us. A lot of things have changed, good and bad, but we can still make it better.
Humans are creative and unique beings. We are gifted with brains that long for tinkering and innovation. We have produced profound technological, economic, environmental, and social transformations that shape the world.
The way we communicate now is different from what we are doing before. We used to write letters, go to post office, make a call, use computer or desktop to access the internet.
The internet and social media changed our lives in ways we thought were impossible. With the emergence of mobile smartphones, we can now access tons of information on the web, and send a message or make a video call for free, all with just a click from our fingertips.
We have benefited a lot from the way we changed the world, but human activities also made negative impacts on the environment. We were too busy paying attention to making new things every day, or wasting our time on senseless matters. But we forget there are also other beings living in this world. Habitat destruction, pollution, electronic waste, space debris, climate change, extinction of species. The list is endless. We need to learn to look back from where we came from. That's the only way for us to move forward.
Things don't last forever. Everything is a short-lived emerges quickly and fades quickly. We like getting on hands on the latest trends and getting sick of it on a short period and throw it away, hence the terms fads.
With critical thinking, we can identify the information and decisions that are significant, which will move us towards a greater understanding and focus on rationale. Exploring the subject, we learn that we should be aware of everything that is happening. Thinking critically in every situation, especially in the 21st century, is crucial to make a better decision for the present and the future.
Change is the only constant things in the world. Our needs and wants vary to the continuous evolution of the world. We should be grateful for our ability to create, make sure it put us to good use, and be mindful that not all what we create is helpful. There are limits to our abilities. We should know when to stop for us to not to suffer later. Time is fleeting, and the earth continues spinning. Our future is up to us, and it's in the hands of the generations to come.
So this is our presentation all about. I hope every one of you enjoyed. And again, we are the Humes 12 Black Pen. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Blackton. Up next, we will see the presentation of Humanities and Social Science Grade 12 Black 1.
Naks, journalist na journalist yung dating ah.
Syempre naman, kaya nga HUMSS ang kinuha ko sa senior high dahil pasok ang kursong journalism dito. It enhances my skills and talents at nabigyang pansin din ang mga subjects na talagang related sa career na pipiliin ko.
So decided ka na?
Oops. Sorry. Yep, siya, sige. Mag-vlog muna ako. Hi guys! Kumusta kayo? Medyo maulan ngayon. But anyways, today pag-uusapan natin ang CESC stands for Community Engagement, Solidarity, and Citizenship with my blockmates. Hi guys! I'm making a vlog. I'm going to upload this. The topic is about community engagement, solidarity, and citizenship. And I know that you're all familiar with it since it's a specialized subject of HUMSS. And I've decided to put it in my content para sa mga future humanistas. By the way, what you all guys doing?
Hi guys! Recently, I had a collaboration with Plantation kasi I tweeted about tree planting. Supposedly, this month is the celebration of Pista Iyang Kagiban, if walang pandemic. Look, they messaged me and gave me these seeds. Because of trees, mas filtered ang hangin na nalalakot natin sa ating komunidad. I remember joining Pista Iyang Kagiban. It aims not only uniting the people and promoting camaraderie, but also preserving our natural rainforests and watersheds here in the city. It's an example of community engagement.
Yes, it is one of the most awaited events here in Puerto Princesa nung wala pang pandemic. I actually joined in before. Ang sarap sa mata na makita yung eagerness ng bawat isa to help the environment. Diba?
Same! Nagtatanim rin kami dito sa bahay. Expert ang mom ko. We call her Plantita.
Yes, it is so great. Collaboration among the members of the society through constant communication, interaction, and involvement is community engagement. Volunteerism is one of its best examples. Kagaya nga ng eagerness natin sa Pista Iyang Kagiban noon. It involves humanitarian actions which are being fueled by ideals and values of social justice.
That's nice. Nakaka-inspire naman.
Hi guys! So sa ngayon, nauuso ang mga community pantry and meron din dito sa barangay namin. So we decided to offer some help. And aside from that, ngayon, nagsasort ako ng mga damit na hindi ko na ginagamit, para i-donate sa isang orphanage. Tapos kanina lang, may nakita akong post sa Facebook na yung anak niya daw may sakit, so nanghingi siya ng financial help kasi wala siyang pera pampagamot. So since I have a little extra, I decided na mag-donate sa kanyang GCash para may mapagamot, para makatulong ang anak niya kasi ang lala ng sakit ng anak niya. And ayun, alam niyo, pag-reply niya ng thank you daw, na malaking tulong niya para sa kanila, ang heartwarming, sobrang nakakataba ng puso, na small amount lang naman yung binigay ko, pero para sa kanya, ang laking bagay na nun. Alam niyo yun, so ang sarap lang tumulong. How about you guys?
I am really inspired with what Miss Anna Patricia did. Imagine, despite of her situation, naisipan niya pa rin tumulong sa mga kababayan niya sa Maginhawa Street in Quezon City and invited people na magbigay ayon sa kanilang kakayahan at kumuha ayon sa kanilang pangangailangan through putting up signages.
Yet, it truly inspired a lot of people to do the same. And performing philanthropy is essential and fulfilling. Alam mo yung pakiramdam na ang sarap tumulong nang wala kang hinintay na kapalit.
True. Kanina may nakita akong post sa Facebook kung paano magtulungan yung mga tao, kung paano magtulong-tulungan yung bawat isa, kahit sila mismo walang-wala na. You know, I want to help them. Our subjects in HUMSS made me realize my passion in serving and helping other people. I want to be a social worker so I could assist them in coping with their problems and especially yung mga walang kakayahan na tumayo sa sarili nila.
That's great! And speaking of community pantry, alam niyo bang pasok siya sa importance of community action? Yes, because community action is about putting communities at the heart of their own local services. Prevention or resiliency is a focus on early access to services or support engagement in design, cross-sector collaboration, and partnerships. There are forms of community action, which are community engagement, which active partnership and collaboration among the members of the society, katulad ng sinabi ni Aljalaika about Pista Ikagiban. Next is solidarity, being knowledgeable of shared interests, standards, objectives, and sentiments which tends to unite people. Last is the citizenship. It is manifested through allegiance to one's country, recognition of his civil, political, and social rights which are not given to non-citizens. One of the best examples for this is the right of suffrage.
Guys, registered na ba kayo as a voter?
Oo, botante na ako.
Same, registered voter na rin ako.
Hindi pa ako registered. Ikaw ba, Lawrence? Registered voter ka na?
Oo naman. Actually, last week ko lang nakuha voter's ID ko.
What is the importance of being a voter?
Being able to vote is one of the privilege and rights given to us Filipino. By law, in a democratic country, it gives us the right to vote for a strong and rightful leader to our country. Mahalaga ang pagboto. Karapatan natin na magboto, lalo na tayong mga kabataan ang pag-asa ng bayan. Ika nga ni Hillary Clinton, voting is the most precious right of every citizen. And we have a moral obligation to ensure the integrity of a voting process.
It's easier now. Register to vote to the Comelec in Registro by filling up a form online. You still need to go to the office for biometrics and make sure to follow the health protocols.
Anyway, I wanna remind you to abide the law, show courtesy, and respect the right of other people. Be a good citizen and show love to our country. Alam nyo guys, I'd like to be a lawyer someday. Sobrang na-establish yung heart ko sa course na kukunin ko dahil sa mga natutunan ko sa strand natin.
Hello guys! Kumusta kayo? It's Laura Maxine, your future psychologist. So, sadly, we're prone to mental health issues ngayong pandemic. Many of us are experiencing anxiety, depression, at madalas na invalidate. So, you know what? I'm raising public awareness here in social media regarding sa mga iba't ibang aspects. Sometimes to convince community leaders to make choices that will benefit the whole community.
Why same, but I am focusing on educating people about COVID-19 regarding vaccine and importance of following the protocol.
Pare-pareho pala tayo ng routines eh. Grabe connected din sa futures professions natin itong ginagawa natin.
Grabe, ang dami niyong natutunan sa CESC na talagang nakaapekto at nakatulong sa pagde-decide niyo ng career niyo in the future. At talagang napaka-importante nito because it focuses on community action initiatives such as community engagement, solidarity, and citizenship as guided by the core values of human rights, social justice, empowerment, advocacy, gender equality, and participatory development. It also enhances the student's sense of shared identity and willingness to contribute to the pursuit of the common good of the community. And I think it really suits their career choice. And before we end this video, do not forget the importance of community engagement. It enables better understanding of communities, needs, and aspirations. It also helps local governments to promote sustainable decisions and ensures access and community empowerment. So, ayan. Sana madami kayong natutunan. Thank you, Blackmates! Thank you guys for watching, and do not forget what is CESC, the importance of CESC, and the forms of CESC. Kaya ikaw, future humanista, sure ka na ba? Hope you like the video. Please like, subscribe, and share the information. Stay safe. Always pray.
Thank you for that amazing presentation. We are now almost half towards the end of the program, but before that, let us first take a moment to see the Black Nine as they showcase their folk dance performance.
Good day, everyone.
I am Darlene K.A. Montilla.
And I am Gerald Rivero.
We are proudly representing the Humanities and Social Sciences Block 9.
Let it rain. Let me talk to him. Come on. Shut it. The whole club's looking at her.
On the first video that we are going to present is about the Palawan folk dances. You will see in the video that we have 3 Philippine shamans, commonly known as kabaylan. They represent the elements, the fire, water, and air. They are abundant in maintaining the ecosystem and beauty in Palawan. They also represent the 3 tribes in Palawan, which are the Mulbog, Tagbanwa, and Batak. And each tribe has own culture and dreams. Tagbanwa are one of the oldest Philippine ethnic group in the Philippines, and they can be mainly found in the central and northern part of the Palawan. The Tagbanwa tribe maintain their spiritual religion and devotion to their deities through music, ritual, and dance.
The Batak is one of the indigenous people of Palawan. They are considered to be of Negrito stock. The Batak practice form of tribal religion under the umbrella of animism, which is the belief that plants, animals, and other inanimate objects such as stones, rivers, and even weather are fully alive in position of a spirit. Mulbog are also called Melebuganang are found in the Balabac Island groups in southern Palawan. The traditional beliefs of Mulbog are passed on from one generation to the next are related to healthcare and safety. Their tradition is the dance ritual for offering, healing, and prayer. It is performed during weddings or Thanksgiving celebrations to appease the gods.
described in Palawan folk dances, we are going to the next part, which is the Palawan folk songs. King King Anaywawa is the one of the most popular song in the Palawan and sung to the children. Because of the beat and the dynamics of the song, the people who can hear it will surely love it.
Lasyang is an occupational song. It is from Cuyo, Palawan that fishing is one of the popular work among Cuyo folks. This song speaks of the fisherman's use of his fish net in catching tamban and banak, which is the two popular kinds of fish in Cuyo. The traditional practice of using the fish net to catch fish with shells as the waves around the fish nets. These people are important because they help protect our environment, fight climate change, and build resilience to natural disasters. Yet, their rights aren't always protected. While these people are own, occupy, or use a quarter of the world's surface area, they safeguard 80% of the world's remaining biodiversity.
In that case, we should be able to value these people because they are the ones who make our own diversity known, and they are the ones who preserves our culture and beliefs that will pass and continue to use in the next generation. And last but not the least is the unity dance. It is where different tribes have gathered and united and to dance as one. It also represents solidarity within the Palaweños and shows the strong bond that we have despite of the cultural beliefs and traditions that we live as one as Palaweños.
Sa paglipas ng 100 taon, kami ay nagpupugay. Ang aming damdaming diwa't isipan, sa'yo ay inaalay. At sa gitna ng pagdiriwang, nakikita at nararamdaman ang pagmamahal ng bawat isa, sa'yo o aming lalawigan. Palawan, puno ng likas na yaman. Palawan, makulay ang kasaysayan. Palawan, samot-saring lahi ang pinagmulan. Palawan, sa puso at isipan ko. Palawan, buhay ang pag-asang dulot mo. Palawan, aking isisigaw sa buong mundo. Sa paglipas ng 100 taon, kami ay nagpupugay. Ang aming damdaming diwa't isipan, sa'yo ay inaalay.
At sa gitna ng pagdiriwang, nakikita at nararamdaman ang pagmamahal ng bawat isa, sa'yo o aming lalawigan.
Palawan, puno ng likas na yaman. Palawan, makulay ang kasaysayan. Palawan, samot-saring langit ang pinagmulan. Palawan,
Sa puso at isipan ko,
Palawan,
buhay ang pagdulot mo.
Palawan,
Aking isisigaw sa buong mundo.
Thank you everyone. We hope that everyone could learn about the different Palawan folk songs and dances.
I am Darlene K.A. Montilla
And I am Gerald Rivera
from Humanities and Social Sciences Block 9.
Thank you, everyone.
Such an amazing performance, Black 9. Right now, we still have 2 remaining practical witnesses. To continue, let us now take a look at the presentation of Black 3.
Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Welcome to the new episode ng inyong paboritong morning show, which is What's the Fact? And for today's episode, makakasama natin sina
Alexia,
Bitlay. Magandang araw sa inyo. And kamusta lang kayo?
okay lang?
Oo, maayos na. Okay lang din, maayos na maayos. And yun nga guys, ang ating mga kasama pala ngayon ay aking mga kaibigan na maalam sa relihiyon na tatalakayin natin today. And ang pag-uusapan natin relihiyon ngayon ay na-encounter na natin sa past subject natin, which is yung Introduction to World Religions and Belief Systems. And before we start, magpapakita muna kami ng short video clip that briefly explains the topic.
Christianity, a monotheistic religion. It began at 1st century AD after Jesus died and was claimed to be resurrected. And like other religions, it has a lot of symbols, a sacred scripture, and different beliefs.
So nakita na natin yung short overview na magiging topic natin for today. So ano yung napansin nyo? Tatanong ko kayo, ano yung napansin nyo or ano yung nakita nyo mismo doon sa video clip niya? Ikaw muna.
So napansin naman po natin iba na nakapost yung video sa Christianity, which is a monotheistic religion. Na ibig sabihin po is isa lang po yung worship nila, which is the Lord. And nagsimula po siya nung panahon ng Roman Empire sa West Asia.
So ikaw, ano naman yung napansin mo doon?
Napansin ko, James, doon sa video na ang Christianity ay napaka-interesting na religion sapagkat makikita mo doon na meron silang sariling sacred scripture na yung Bible. Meron silang mga doctrines and beliefs gaya ng baptism at saka meron pang iba pa symbols gaya ng cross.
And since we're talking about Christianity, no, so can you give me a brief introduction of Christianity before we go explore or go beyond the historical background of it?
So yung Christianity is the biggest religion and popular religion sa buong mundo.
So kung ito yung pinaka-popular na religion sa buong mundo, no, can you give me countries na with pinaka-largest population of Christians?
We have Brazil, Mexico, syempre Pilipinas.
So our beloved country is included, no? So, sino yung founder? Sino nagpasimula ng Christianity?
He was Jesus Christ, the Son of the Lord.
So, alam na natin kung sino yung founder. So, kailan nagsimula yung Christianity?
Nagsimula siya noong 1st century AD when Jesus died to be resurrected. It was derived from Judaism because Jesus was a Jew also.
So, Jesus was a Jew and that's why it was derived from Judaism.
Yes.
Siyempre, meron niya mga symbols sa Christianity and ako nagsisimba ko and nakikita ko may mga cross. And ang alam ko lang na, na meaning nun, siya yung pinaka-popular na symbol sa Christianity. So can you give me the meaning of that cross? And give other symbols rather.
Totoo din sinabi mo na ang cross ay ang pinaka-popular na simbolo ng Christianity. Kasi noon, makikita mo, mababasa mo sa Bible na ang cross ay nagsisimbolo na kung saan niligtas ni Jesus yung humanity sa kasalanan sapagkat doon siya pinako. Kaya yun ang naging isa sa simbolo ng Christian. Meron pang isang napaka-interesting na simbolo. Ito ay yung fish na side. Na kung saan dati ito ay ginagamit na pang-communicate ng mga Christian sa kapwa nila Christian sapagkat sila ay nape-persecute noon dati ng gobyerno at ng iba pang mga tao na against sa Christianity.
Tsaka pag nag-meet sila, they are able to identify if they are Christians gano'n. So pumunta naman tayo sa sacred scriptures nila. Ano yung banal na kasulatan ng Christianity?
So, gaya ng ibang religion, ang Christianity ay meron din sariling sacred scripture. Ito ay tinatawag nating Bible na kung saan ito ay binubuo ng mga short stories, mga songs, at mga history na nangyari nung unang panahon ni Kristo. At ito ay binubuo ng dalawang libro. Ito ay yung Old Testament at ang New Testament. Ang Old Testament ay binubuo din ulit ng 39 books. At saka ang New Testament pala ay binubuo ng 27 books. At yun ang kanilang sacred scripture.
Siyempre, bawat mga religion, may kanya-kanya yung beliefs and doctrines, no? Alam ko sa Christianity marami din. Isa na nga dito yung 10 Commandments. So, can you elaborate what is 10 Commandments?
So, yung Ten Commandments is ina-follow siya ng mga Christian to please God.
So, as Christians, duty natin na i-follow talaga yung 10 utos ng Diyos, no? Para yun nga, makapunta tayo sa langit, which is the doctrine, tayo ganyan. So, ano yung doctrine talaga ng Christianity?
Sabi mo nga kung ano yung doctrines ng Christianity. Ang doctrines ng Christianity ay naniniwala sila sa Holy Trinity, which means na naniniwala sila sa God the Father, sa Jesus as the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Also, meron sila sinusunod na baptism, kung saan ikukonsidera kang bilang isang kabilang sa Christian kung ikaw ay nabautismo.
And para naman sa mga viewers natin dyan, alam ko meron kayong thoughts about different beliefs and doctrines ng Christianity. Pwede nyo i-comment below kung ano yung mga beliefs na alam nyo para ma-share din natin sa iba. And ako naman tayo sa pinakabagong segment ng ating show, which is The Thoughts to Ponder. And for our Thoughts to Ponder of the day, meron akong interesting question sa inyo, which is, how does the whole subject of Introduction to World Religions and Belief Systems helps you to prepare and mold you to your preferred profession in the future? Ikaw muna.
For me, yung tinuturo nito is more about moral, principle, and respecting others' belief. It also develops your interpersonal awareness and communication competence.
So, it's more on how we socialize. Pagtuturuan tayo ng kung paano i-respect ng others talaga. Pakikipag-interact sa iba-iba. So, ano naman yung?
Para sa akin, Introduction to World Religion Belief ay system. Ito ay nakakatulong para mapalawak ang kaalaman ng isang estudyante sa iba't ibang aspekto ng buhay nila. Ito ay nakakatulong din para ma-develop ang ating critical skills. And also, yung subject na ito ay nag-motivate, nagbibigay ng motivation para sa student na ipursu pa nila ang kanilang profession para sa future.
So para sa akin naman, since it was connected to the trust and faith, to the beliefs and God's love, throughout our journey as a senior high school student, meron talaga tayong may encounter na different challenges in life. And this subject, tinuturuan tayo nito kung paano i-turn yung challenges into opportunities, which is, view natin yung problems as positive. At dyan na nagtatapos ang ating episode of the day. Maraming salamat sa aming minamahal na viewers.
Sana nag-enjoy kayo.
At maraming salamat ulit sa mga nakinig at walang sawang nanonood.
And most importantly, sana may natutunan kayo sa episode na ito. Ayun lang, this is James, and see you in the next episode of What's the Fact?
Thank you, Black 3. Now we're about to witness the last presenter of this event. Let's take a look at the Black 11 in their Philippine Politics and Governance Practicum.
Have you ever participated in elections? Wonder how much power a citizen holds. According to the Philippine Constitution, Section 1, Article 2, the Philippines is a democratic and republican state. Sovereignty resides in the people and all government authority emanates from them.
Now, what is election and why do we need it? Election is a time when the citizens of the country shows which policies they approve and which parties they have more faith in. It is a necessary process that needs to happen for the democracy to sustain.
In the Article 5, Section 1, it was stated that suffrage may be exercised by all citizens of the Philippines not otherwise disqualified by law who are at least 18 years of age and who shall have resided in the Philippines for at least 1 year and in the place wherein they propose to vote for at least 6 months immediately preceding the election.
No literacy, property, or other substantive requirements shall be exposed on the exercise of suffrage.
Voters registration is the first step in exercising your right, so if you are 18 years of age on or before May 2022, a Philippine citizen and is residing in the country for a year and haven't been registered,
You are very much qualified to register.
Just go to registro.comelec.gov.ph.
Don't forget to fulfill your duties as a Filipino citizen. Register now and be a part of change.
This advertisement is brought to you by Humanista 1211. Humanista Newsverse 121.1, broadcasting live from Palawan National School. Here are your trusted anchors.
Humanista Newsverse, giving you valuable information for a better nation. Good morning, Palawanos. Here are the exclusive news just for you. In Philippine politics and election, there are political parties for the purpose of implementing democracy in the election. That being said, the Commission on Elections is the government agency that overlooks the whole election process, may it be a regular or special election. Here are more information just for you. We have Mary Ann for the news.
Under Republic Act 7056, Section 1 says that there shall be only one simultaneous regular election for national and local elected official once every 2 years. Meanwhile, in the Section 2, the election of all elective government officials in any level shall be held on the second Monday of May. And we have the Section 4 indicating that regular election of President and Vice President every 6 years and other government elected positions every 3 years and be held on the second Monday of May. Mary Ann Dulsang for Humanista Newsverse.
You have just heard the latest news update about the nature of elections in the Philippines from Humanista Newsverse. I am Erica Servando, reporting for Humanista Newsverse.
Humanista Newsverse 121.1, broadcasting live from Palawan National School.
Yay! Guys, we're all at the legal age now.
Wait, that means maybe we should now gain and improve our knowledge about politics?
Don't you worry, guys, I got you.
Hey girls, are you want to know something about political parties?
Oh! By the way, I have read political parties are political groups officially recognized by the Commission of Election as being part of the electoral process and support candidates in elections.
That's right.
Kuya, can you give us an idea about the types of political parties? I often heard the Liberal Party and PDP laban in the news. What are those?
Oh yeah, those are just an example of major political parties. These are organized groups that hold political influence in a country's politics.
Oh, I see. But how about the Gabriela and Anak Mindanao Party?
Gabriela and Anak Mindanao Party. Yeah, those are from minor political parties or party list organizations, which means they are organized groups with representation in congressional seats. And did you know, there's one more type of political parties. It is the regional or provincial political parties.
It's my turn now. Kuya, if political parties has a types, can you tell us now its kinds? How about the China? What kind of political parties do they have?
Yeah, China. China has one party system, which means they have only one political party system that holds power.
So, what about USA?
Well, United States of America has two-party system. It is a political system wherein two major political parties alternate with each other in the exercise of political power.
Kuya, what about our country? the Philippines?
Okay, here in our country, Philippines has a multi-party system, which means it is a political system where more than two political parties fight in a national election. And remember that under multi-party system has three kinds too. First is the leftist, which aims to reduce the ills of society. Next is the rightist, that is represented by people who are less traditional but politically conservative. And lastly, the centrist, which adopts policies of both left and right wings.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I hope that you learn well about I just discussed with you, and I'm glad that you are embracing the things that comes with your legality.
Thank you for sharing your knowledge about political parties, Kuya Jerome.
We will keep in mind all that you have discussed, Kuya. Let's keep in touch soon.
All the presenters did well in this program, don't you think, Daniela?
Indeed, we are now at the near end of the program, but as we go further, the students from these blocks also prepared some insights about their understanding of the topic. Let us all take a look.
Hi! How are you all? Time flies fast. We can still remember how undecided we were in choosing a senior high school strand. Humanities and social sciences honed our skills and talents. It molded us to be a competent student equipped to face the challenges that we will encounter in the future. Now, we are close to the graduation while carrying the learnings we gathered for the past 2 years. HUMSS offered specialized subjects that aim nothing but the best of the students.
It includes Introduction to World Relations and Belief Systems, Disciplines and Ideas in Social Sciences, Disciplines and Ideas in Applied Social Sciences, Philippine Politics and Governance, Trends, Networks, and Critical Thinking in the 21st Century, Creative Writing and Creative Nonfiction, and Culminating Activity. Culminating activity is far different from the previous ones, for it is a combination and application. I personally find it amusing when I first watched the video posted in the group about the subject. It is saddening to note that we took it in a new normal setup, but eventually it turned out great. Our journey in this subject is remarkable. The topics are useful and helpful not only for academic-related aspects, but also as an individual. It made us realize what we want in the future with the help of the webinars. Furthermore, it created a strong bond and camaraderie among us, the students, through its activities, and we are beyond grateful. The new normal has been tough for all of us, but having determination to achieve our dreams made it manageable. The experiences, despite the draining system, are something we will forever remember and cherish. As we enter the next step of our journey in life, we will always be reminded of the lessons we learned from this subject.
In culminating activity, we have learned about the processes and the relationships of the specialized subjects in humanities and social sciences. We were taught to think critically and logically in order to be wary of different social, political, and economic issues. Thus, we're able to demonstrate our academic knowledge and apply it into action through this culminating project. To incorporate all learnings we had from the lessons provided in our class, the Humanities and Social Sciences Block 2 created a centralized plan to process the prerequisite activities and needs for our grand culminating activity, then proceeded to improve the quality of the plan by focusing on contents that will be helpful in terms of application. But it doesn't end here. Our grand culminating activity is only a fraction of a bigger part. The webinar series, composed of different guest speakers with different professions, sought to give enlightenment, facts, and answers to us, grade 12 HUMSS students regarding our chosen profession. From that, we gained prior knowledge about the courses we would pursue in our college education. After all, we are just but empty vessels to be filled by years of experience and learnings that we would acquire in the journey of pursuing our dreams and goals in life. All the lessons imparted to us would be in vain if we would not allow ourselves to learn and grow in our own endeavors. It was a tough ride, especially with the absence of face-to-face classes and physical activities. Nevertheless, with the help of our teachers and Almighty God, we made the impossible possible.
A pleasant day to all of us. This is James Navarro of HUMSS 12 Block 3, and I'm glad to present to you some of my classmates' insights about culminating activities subject, as well as the other subjects that are included.
Those subjects covered by culminating activity teach different attributes to an individual, including discipline, perspective and politics, evaluation of different commissions, understanding of different writings, studying behaviors, and also create common engagement to build the unity.
As a student, I can encounter the activities, communication, teamwork, and problem solving. Common insights the subject covered in the culminating activity is big help and big growth to taking the subject included. It's also exercise in evaluating insights from the observation and that will integrate my learning in specialized learning areas.
Culminating activities help us to enhance our skills, knowledge, attitude, and action. It also helps to highlight our work for the media, school administration, local government, and the community.
Throughout my experiences learning with the subject, it can help for students to understand their significant principles and core teachings and identify their commonalities. It reflects to human beliefs, rights, knowledge, and skills, by which it helps them to spread acceptance, equality, and cooperation. It distributes a lot to their own perceptions in life. Also, it was a great opportunity for students to learn about other beliefs and different countries.
To summarize it all, this subject provides assistance on our growth as a humanities and social sciences student. It trains us to know our abilities and skills in order to apply it to our preferred profession in the future, as well as formulating plans to achieve that goal. Once again, this is James Navarro from HUMSS 12-3, and thank you.
Adults often tell us that we don't know what stress is and to just wait until we grow up. But we, as teenage students, have our own levels of stress. For instance, all school activities require you to uphold your grade point average to high standards, along with expectations that you would dedicate any extra time to do it day and night. Hi, my name is Xavier, and I am a senior at Palawan National School. And let me just tell you that being a student in today's society is not that easy.
We started the class of 2020-2021 different from our typical life before. From the way we communicate, learn, and take part in various activities, everything has changed gradually during the COVID-19 pandemic. The country temporarily closed all schools, establishments, and infrastructures, and different business learning modalities emerged. The world is gravely wounded by the countless circumstances that we are facing up until now. If we look outside, we cannot deny that the world is suffering, and we are not too young nor too old to see how this pandemic immensely affected our life as a whole. The COVID-19 pandemic is overwhelming to students and to everyone else. The functioning and outcomes of today's educational system has made some of us stressed and anxious in all aspects of our daily lives. The sudden shutdown of schools, compounded by the associated public health and economic crisis, poses major challenges to us, especially to students and our teachers. Our educational system was not built nor prepared to cope with a situation like this. We lack the structures to sustain effective teaching and learning during the shutdown and to provide the safety net supports that many students receive in school. While we cannot identify the exact impacts, we do know that we, as a student, our academic performance is deteriorating during the pandemic, along with our progress in other developmental skills. On the brighter side, even if there are hardships and difficulties that we had encountered, we're very grateful for we still able to accomplish school works and activities with the help of our hardworking, passionate, and determined teachers, despite the fact that they are also having difficulties coping with the situation. With all the sacrifices made, the pandemic has also imparted life lessons that we might not have acquired until a much riper age. There are a lot of things in this world that we took for granted way too much, and when this comes to a head, people need to be way more appreciative of their situation, where they live, and how lucky they are.
We may have faced a turbulent year, forced to consider how technology could be used to keep learners safe and engaged in education during a pandemic. We learned to figure things out in our own way, the art of adapting to changes. We became very appreciative of all the things that we see, all the collective efforts of people who risk their lives to save another life, and that no matter what life throws us, we have to get up and keep going. Not to give up, but to keep fighting. This year have taught us to integrate our learnings in choosing our profession and becoming ready for our future. From the learnings that we gained in the 8 subjects that we had in the span of 8 months, from humanities and social sciences thread, we can say that we are now prepared, stronger, and not just merely students. We became fighters. So let's face the future with a mind that seeks certainty and competency, and be reminded that we can do something to prove that we are the hopes of our nation, that we can make a difference.
Thank you for the learnings.
Thank you for the learnings.
Thank you for the learnings.
Thank you for your learnings.
Thank you for the 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 learnings. Thank you for the learnings.
Thank you for the learnings.
Thank you for the learnings. Thank you for the learnings. Thank you for all the learnings. Thank you for the learnings.
Thank you for the learnings.
Thank you for the learnings. Thank you for the learnings.
The 8 subjects of humanities and social sciences played a huge role in cultivating our skills, knowledge, and our capability, not just as a student but as a person in general.
Creative writing and creative nonfiction not just helped us to enhance our writing skills, but allowed us to explore and have more appreciation about the different literary pieces that are found in the Philippines.
Disciplines and ideas in applied social sciences help us not just to expand our knowledge, but also gain consciousness in order to be socially aware about the different social issues and topics that today's society has been facing.
Discipline and ideas in applied social sciences, on the other hand, enable us to integrate our social sciences learning and use it on a regular basis.
What I learned about the introduction to the world religion and belief system is that it teaches us how to diversify and be respectful by being aware of the different major religions of the world that has been practicing. It made me realize that our perceptions vary based on deep-rooted beliefs that we acquired and the environment we live in.
Community engagement, solidarity, and citizenship allows us to recognize the different structure of the community and teach us how to be a functional citizen of the community throughout interaction, participation, and activities.
The Philippine politics and governance tell us how the government functions in the community and how it works through the participation of both government and citizens, which leads us into thinking that in order for the society to work well, we must also take part by giving action.
Trends, network, and critical thinking skills teaches us how to be a media and literate person, maintaining safety, respecting privacy, and help us to distinguish between the false and truth that is going around the media and on the internet.
This subject can not only help us obtain our knowledge, but also to help us integrate these learnings in the future. Furthermore, it also encouraged us to pursue the career that we wanted. Humanities and social science in general taught us to cultivate my skills, how to be socially aware and build comparison towards people in need, which is probably the most essential learning that we acquired in our time being in this strand.
Mayad nga adlaw kanindong tanan.
Magandang araw sa inyong lahat.
I am Rhea Florgo.
And I am Dave Amiel Escala.
And we are the students from Humanities and Social Sciences Block 6. The fact that many of you are watching this video means that we are able to unite at this cause.
Ever since the pandemic started, our lives turned upside down. We faced a lot of challenges and difficulties that may hinder us from completing our education.
We thought it was just for a short period of time. However, days turned into weeks, to months, and to years.
Now, it seems like there's no turning back.
today allow us to showcase our insights, learnings, and experiences on culminating activity subject.
Under distance learning, culminating activity engages us, students, to exhibit and integrate our learnings from the 8 specialized subjects of our STEM, as well as in other learning areas.
It gives us a chance to explore ourselves in many ways and an opportunity to demonstrate our academic knowledge regarding the concepts, theories, and ideas relating to humanities and social sciences.
We were able to formulate a plan to write concept papers and resumes, and to examine the preparedness and completeness of an output.
Most especially, this subject guides us in choosing a career and a path to take as we move on with the next chapter of our lives.
From the heart of HUMSS Block 6,
Maraming salamat Palawan National School,
Humanities and Social Sciences Strand,
to teachers,
and to all our fellow students.
Soar high,
Dream high,
Padayon, Humanista.
Culminating activity encourages the student to participate in events operation and analyze the event success. It allows the student to create and control the program and inspires them to take ownership of their work. As we finish the task, quizzes, activities, and outputs, we develop knowledge and skills that incorporate change into our society. We learn about the concept and theories of society, politics, social science, community engagement, and such. Our society currently faces circumstances and problems that need to be addressed. At this moment, we are currently combating the COVID-19 pandemic, and it is our responsibility to apportion our learnings and knowledge throughout our journey as humanities and social science students. Thus, we believe in a broad application of HUMSS students soon.
Good day, everyone. I am Janfred Frazonalam from HUMSS Black 8, and I'm here to tell you about the things that we've learned from the major subjects of our beloved strand, the Humanities and Social Science strand. Philippine politics and governance allowed us to understand and analyze the concepts and realities that is existent in the Philippine government. As students taking humanities and social sciences, we highly value this opportunity to learn and recognize its function and contribution as a whole. Creative writing introduced us to the art of playing with words in our imaginations, to learn about how to express ourselves more than just a simple recital of our feelings. On the other hand, creative nonfiction enabled us to put real-life events into words and be able to share it to the world, also to an effective way, like an artistic way. We understood how much creative nonfiction can influence someone and how it could impact their lives. And for us writers, we found the joy in sharing and creating these literary works for ourselves and for others. The lesson in the subject disciplines and ideas in social sciences are very important because it helps us how to improve our society by understanding and learning its concepts and theories. As we moved to grade 12, we were introduced to the applied version of the social science and disciplines, which help us to understand how we are going to put the learnings we acquired in the previous subject into good use, which will be beneficial not only for us but to the whole society as well. Community engagement, solidarity, and citizenship enhance our shared sense of self-identity and the readiness to contribute to the community's common good. These subjects focus on the application of ideas and methods of social sciences to understand, investigate, and examine the challenges in the community. It enabled us to integrate applied social sciences into community action, initiatives, trends, networks, and critical thinking. In the 21st century provided us the opportunity to discover patterns and extract meanings from emerging trends. It allowed us to develop our critical thinking in terms of decision making and morality, as well as understanding the ethics of care. Finally, introduction to the world religion and belief systems enhance our basic cognitive process of self-control, which encourage a variety of beneficial social behaviors. It granted us the ability to understand and respect the different religious practices of individuals across the world. The humanities and social sciences students are considered as the backbone of the society. And I'm here to tell you that we are ready to face the battle, not only the fields related to social sciences, but every challenges that the world is going to give us. Thank you to the teachers for teaching us and helping us to be armored warriors. We are ready to serve the humanity. Again, I am Jan President Personalam, Padayon, Isdas.
What's up, Humanistas? It's me, Day Carlin. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, for today's video, we will have a guest, but because of pandemic, we will have him by Zoom. He is from Palawan National School, Grade 12 Humanities and Social Sciences, Block 9. I'm gladly to introduce to you Mr. Gerald Rivero.
Hello everyone! Thank you for inviting me to your blog. And I am excited what we're going to do right now in this content. How about you?
Hi Jay, I'm also excited for this content. I'm also thankful to you because you agreed to do such a content like this. So today, we will share the insights of students about their journey throughout this school year, sharing of their difficulties and how they survived the school year in the middle of pandemic.
As we all know, the impact of COVID-19 pandemic is drastically changing the lives of people, including the lives of young people. Schools and universities have closed, examinations and events postponed. Usual health information services are limited. Socializing with friends and wider family is highly discouraged and in some places even punishable. Living in these circumstances can be tough for young people for their social, physical, and mental well-being.
I agree on you, Jay. So now, we will share some videos of the insights of students of Palawan National School, Grade 12 Humanities and Social Sciences, Block 9 about their experiences in education learning in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic. Let's watch this.
Hi guys! I'm Sammy Diaz, yung sa Black 9. So, gusto ko lang i-share sa inyo kung saan ako nahirapan ngayong school year ay yung pag-manage ko ng class ko. Kasi, sa bahay lang ako, parang mas pinipili ko yung mga gawaing bahay or kung something na kung ano-anong gagawin ko sa bahay kaysa gawin ko yung module ko. Parang mangyayari, hihintayin ko pa yung deadline bago ko gagawa na yun hassle paggawa, ganun. Tapos, nangyari kasi, nasanay ako dun sa dati sa school natin na face-to-face na pag hindi ako alam, hindi naintindihan, tatanong ako kay ma'am, kay sir, tatanong ako, paano to, ano pong gagawin, ano po, explain ko, ganyan. Kaya kailangan ko talaga na i-overcome din ko na yung self-learning ko dapat na mas ma-improve ko din talaga and yung pag-manage ko ng oras ka.
Nung dumating po ngayon na nagkaroon po ng pandemic, naisipan ko po magtrabaho at inaisipan ko rin pong ipagsabay yung pag-aaral at pagtatrabaho ko. Akala ko po nung una, madali lang. Yun po pala, sobrang hirap. Kasi nandyan po yung pressure mo. Gigising ka po ng 5 AM ng umaga para magtrabaho hanggang 1 PM ng tanghali. Pagdating mo sa bahay, gagawa ka ng activities, magbibidyo ka ng mga sayaw mo, ng mga pieces mo, mga module mo, gagawin mo. Para po sa akin, yung routine po ng buhay ko, ibang-iba na po sa face-to-face ng routine ng buhay ko ng face-to-face.
I've struggled with academic discipline throughout the distance learning experience. Synchronous learning does not have the same sense of accountability on synchronous learning because students work with the class material and learn independently. Some students are self-disciplined and have no major issues with the independence of distance learning, whereas others like me feel a little lost because they have a particularly deep learning. It is not as good as traditional learning, but I have survived this type of academic learning because of the people who help me understand whatever I find difficult.
Everyone, I'm Donna Bedri Iglesia, HUMSS 12 Block 9. Ako ay isang estudyante ng Palawan National School. Ang aking pinili ay online learning. Talagang mahirap, lalo nito sa amin, ang koneksyon. Minsan pumupunta pa kami ng Aplaya dahil medyo malakas yung connection doon. Minsan, gabi or madaling araw kasi mas malakas ang signal pag madaling araw at wala din kuryente dito. Talagang tinitipid namin ang battery namin para magamit ito sa studies namin. Lalo na ngayon, mahirap talaga na intindihin ang bawat lesson. Kung dati nga sa face-to-face, dinidiscuss pa ng teacher, maraming examples, paulit-ulit na binibigay na example ng teachers tungkol sa lesson, mahirap na intindihin at unawain. Ngayon pa na sa module lang, talagang sariling sikap lang. Pero okay lang kasi lahat naman ng ating pagsisikap magbubunga rin yan nang sa tamang panahon. Untong tiis lang kahit medyo napupuyat, magdamag na magsagot ng mga modules, gumawa ng requirements. Okay lang kasi lahat ng ating paghihirap magbubunga yan sa tamang panahon.
Dumami po yung cases ng COVID dito sa lungsod ng Puerto. Napilitan po akong lumipat sa digital. Dahil po wala na pong kukuha sa school ng mga modules ko kasi yung guardian ko po is senior citizen na po. Nung una, kayo pa naman, medyo madali lang yung mga tawag nito, yung mga nakalagay sa module, carry pa naman. Pero nung huli na nasa kalagitnaan na at yung requirements sunod-sunod na, doon medyo mahirap sa part sa student. At mahirap siya kasi digital. Masakit sa mata yung, lalo na yung radiation ng cellphone. So, kahit mahirap, kinaya.
Hi, I'm Alea Rosario from UNICEF Block 9, and I'll be sharing my struggles this school year and how I went through them. So, ang main struggle ko this school year is learning. Bakit? We are in the middle of the pandemic, so we really can't go out like we used to. So that means no going to school and no face-to-face discussions with our teachers. And what's worse, kapag binibigyan tayo ng module, we have to rely on our own understanding and our own knowledge to answer all the activities. At ano mas mahirap pa? Walang teacher sa tabi natin na magsasabi sa atin na, "Hoy, tama yung ginagawa mo. Hoy, mali yan, baguhin mo." So, mahirap talagang matuto. So, ano bang ginagawa ko? Mahirap yun. Mahirap yun, I know. But, what I do is, sagot ng ako lang sagot hanggang kaya ko. Sagot lang ako ng sagot. Kapag napagod ako, edi magpahinga. Easy as that. Wala namang mawawala sa'yo kung magpapahinga ka, di ba? And it's for your own sake. Tapos, I just trust myself na, girl, kaya ko to. I mean, kaya ko to. I'm a woman. And, of course, I have faith in God. Na, hindi niya ako papabayaan. Gagabayan niya ako. And, I draw inspiration from the people around me. My family, my friends. Yun, yung ginagawa ko. And, I am proud to say na, nalampasan ko yun. Yes.
Overwhelmed and proud of the students because they gave a lot of effort to survive this school year. It made me realize that I'm not the one that's struggling too, but everyone around me also experiencing such a lot of problems towards the school year. How about you, Jay? What can you say about the insights of the students?
Their insights is very relatable, just like how I am struggling right now. As a young student, I am very proud of my fellow students because they are resilient like me. They are able to produce such amazing ideas and plans to overcome that. Even though I'm so in stepping stone of success right now, and I hope we can overcome this pandemic as soon as possible.
I just want to insert that culminating activity helps us to become more productive in our life. It taught us to value activities that we do and might do soon in our life. Helps us to put productivity and betterment in everything that we do every day to fulfill the tasks assigned to us and works that we need to put actions. The culminating activity is a new subject that makes the students' final moments in school exciting and full of educational activities. It's a shame that we won't be able to conduct any activities with our teachers and classmates due to pandemic. But at least, our teachers did their utmost best to hold an activity through digital means. And fun fact, if it weren't for the culminating activity, I wouldn't have known about the folk songs of finance. These subjects, though, they weren't enough, but did their best to aid us in learning and preparing for our future. To end this vlog, I just wanted to say that we are all experiencing a lot of problems today in educational learning due to COVID-19 pandemic. But it is not a reason to give up on what we've started, and we should continue to learn and learn even there is a lot of problems that we are facing today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and to be more updated in my vlogs, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. So guys, goodbye. Thank you for watching.
This school year is very different from our past years as the pandemic came in. With COVID-19, the entire world was turned upside down and things had to change from the usual. The education sector was greatly affected as school was cancelled and we had to implement and adopt the distance learning method. During the first 3 weeks of the new normal, keeping up with the schedule and navigating through online learning applications was hard for us. Based on our experience, there are a lot of factors which makes distance learning different from other learning methods. Although communication is made easier by technology regardless of distance, time is the enemy as both students and teacher are busy with tasks and work to do, that it is hard to catch up and check on our message inbox.
In addition, the new learning method is not one size fits all. We have different preferences. Limited contact with our classmates and teachers made learning less fun. Moreover, learning became more difficult as there are no discussion of lessons from the teacher and we all have to learn the material by ourselves. Plus, not all students have the resources to have gadgets of their own to access the digital learning materials. This pandemic made it harder for the less fortunate to adopt in the new normal. It's been a tough year for us, being in a new environment, dealing with chores and issues at home while studying. We have so much on our plate, but as we've tried to adjust all these months, we've learned how to be productive and optimistic. Although we still find it hard to cope with sudden changes in our schedule, we decided to prioritize our study first before social life so that we could be able to survive our last year.
As senior students who are nearing the last days of high school, we have been deprived of experiencing the highlights of our high school life. We may not be able to achieve those sentimental memories and milestones we have been looking forward to for years, but learning and experiencing things in a new setting and surviving through all the troubles we had is enough for us to be grateful that we have surpassed a big challenge in a student's life.
There's a lot for us to learn when it comes to facing the problems in life. This big challenge molded us to become independent and tested our physical and mental state. We learned that everything is possible as long as you persevere.
Hi, I'm Erica from Humanities and Social Sciences, Grade 12, Block 11, and I'm here to share my insights about the Culminating Activity subject.
Personally, I really enjoyed this subject because it let me walk back to the past subjects that we had in our grade 11 and also let me integrate it with the career that I am choosing for myself. But as a block, this subject had given us the opportunity to have teamwork and also utilize each and everyone's talents despite us having distance and differences. This school year had been hard for all of us, but somehow, this subject refreshed us into communicating, especially when we were creating our grand culminating activity. It walked us back in time, taught us something new, and helped us unleash the creative spirit in us. So I wanted to take this opportunity to thank Ms. Larma Baclaan, our subject advisor, for being supportive of us, and also the faculty staffs of the Humanities and Social Sciences Department, as well as to the administration of Palawan National School. Sir, ma'am, thank you so much for always striving better into honing the students of this generation. I believe that step by step, we will be able to conquer this hard time, and until we meet again, let us not stop hoping for the best.
Once again, I'm Erica Servando from Grade 12 Humanities and Social Sciences, Block 11. Thank you.
Henry Charles Carey once said that the molecule of society is the subject of social science. I do believe in Mr. Carey because, as a humanities and social sciences student, it is accurate that everything in society is the subject of social science. I learned that social science has 8 disciplines: the anthropology, history, linguistics, geography, economics, politics, psychology, and sociology. It is vital because it helps people to understand and engage with the key political and social institutions, thus benefiting individuals and society as a whole. The 8 disciplines of social science are important because it creates better institutions and systems that affect people's lives every day. Thus, social science helps people to interact with the social world, how to influence policy, develop networks, increase government accountability, and promote democracy. Learning those disciplines indeed correlates to our path that we will encounter as we welcome another chapter in our life. Our cool students indeed learn a lot from this program, and I hope that whoever is watching this also gains something helpful as much as I do too. Now that the insight portion is over, we will now be presenting the announcement of the awardees.
Good day everyone, I'm Mom Willie Jimenez from HUMSS Department. I will be announcing the winners for the Best Handmade Creative Portfolio and the Best Creative E-Portfolio. For the Best Handmade Creative Portfolio, we have Miss Elia Mia F. Gilang from Block 6. While for the Creative E-Portfolio, we have Miss Rhea Florgo, also from Block 6. Congratulations!
Won the award and to those who didn't. We still want to congratulate all of you for your compliance, hardships, and efforts that you put in order to make this happen. Now, let us have Ms. Sheila Ayesa A. Vicencio to hear the closing remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of all Culminating teachers, I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to all extended efforts in ensuring the success of this activity. To our dear Principal, Dr. Eduardo G. Santos, thank you for allowing us to conduct this activity. To our Senior High School Assistant Principal, Sir Joseph Pinos, thank you, sir, for your unwavering support to senior high school activities, particularly to HUMSS Department. To our Subject Group Head, Ms. Vilma Cabansag, thank you, ma'am, for leading us all throughout this journey. To the advisors and other subject teachers, thank you so much for your support and understanding to the demands of our activities in meeting the deadlines. To our students, HUMSS Grade 12, Blocks 1 to 12, I commend you for the hard work you put in reaching what you have achieved today. You deserve to give yourselves a huge round of applause. We hope that you are now ready to face new responsibilities. There are always struggles along the way, but with perseverance and dedication, nothing is possible to achieve your goal. Lastly, I would like to congratulate your parents who are very supportive and responsible to the school activities of their children. Once again, congratulations, Humanista.
This may be the end of our culminating activity, but it would still be a long journey for all of those who aspire on reaching their dreams. May this also be the last time that we can celebrate our grand culminating activity and this kind of setup, but regardless, it has been a memorable experience to all of us. Again, my name is Daniela Opiala.
And I am Kian Cheska Vasera from Humanities and Social Science Grade 12 Back 5. And we are happy and thankful to serve as your speakers for today's event. Goodbye everyone, stay healthy and may God bless us all.